Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another edition of PandaWatch Podcast. I'm Steven Zebrak,
It's your boy Kev Ma.
and we're once again doing our recording separately. I'm up in 318. Kevin is down in 2846.
Down here, man. Down here.
Yep, coming to
Representing
you live.
representing Northern VI.
Yep.
That is not Northern Virgin Islands. That was Northern Virginia.
Yeah, I think they got it.
No,
But
no, man. It was kind of confusing.
we appreciate the clarification.
Thank you.
Anyways, Kevin, tell him what you did this weekend.
Wait. What about our sponsors, man?
Oh, we ain't got no sponsors. Man,
But we won't have Michelob Ultra. So
no.
you're right.
People knew that from last week. We don't want Michelob. Yeah, they haven't heard of us, so
Yeah,
they can't respond.
You can never have too many. Make sure that they know. Michelob Ultra. Thanks, guys, but no thanks. Meanwhile, this past weekend was turn back the clock night for Kevin after not going out as frequently as I usually do. Back-to-back nights out with friends that I coach basketball with and friends that I went to college with. And the big takeaway is I can't do it anymore, man. It hurts way too much. Going around out in DC trying to rage and binge drink, it's just not for me anymore, man.
Would you go out both nights in DC?
Both nights in DC too.
Oh man,
And that's huge. For anybody who's listening, just know that your boy keeps it local as can be.
well, just know that you have to rest up because you got a visit up here in a week and a half, and you have to be ready to go hard.
Yeah, I mean, New York is a different thing, but yeah. So the weekend was just a stark, cold reminder that I can't drink heavily anymore, man. It was like we went out, had an Oktoberfest theme, and Shirlington got canceled, but we had friends throwing the party, and we just kept passing Das Boot around, and one thing led to another, and wake up with a hangover that kept me on the couch all day Sunday, like all day.
That sounds like fun, man. Watching football, hungover.
It was miserable. I didn't even watch any games. Didn't even watch the Colts game.
I'm sure you didn't miss much there.
Hey, watch yourself. 2-2, baby. What'd you get into this weekend, man? My weekend was same old.
Yeah, so this weekend I actually went to my first USA New York Red Bulls soccer game.
The
I've been to
MLS?
the MLS. I've been to a DC United game before. This is my first Red Bulls game. Went for a friend's birthday, tailgated our faces off, then went in.
What does a MLS tailgate entail?
It's pretty much about a hundredth of the size of a NFL tailgate.
That's what I thought. I feel like there's a lot of empty parking lot space.
Oh yeah, there was.
Soccer balls flying all over the place.
Nope, none of that.
What? You guys
Yeah,
are
no.
at the soccer game and not kicking the soccer ball around?
I think maybe some people were, but I mean, you got to remember it was pretty cold on Saturday. It wasn't the best weather, so people were mainly just huddled up, drinking and eating some food. That's about it.
Did you guys keep it like real New York and start the fire in like a trash can barrel?
Oh no, we didn't do that. That would have been cool though. That would have been a good idea.
You could have like huddled around. Now I just envision you guys being huddled around singing like Levert in New Jack City.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that got in your mind. I mean, we were all white people tailgating.
What does that have to do with anything?
It has everything to do with
White
everything.
people don't get cold. White people don't sing.
White people get cold.
Every time I turn the TV on, I see a white person cold and they singing.
When do you see that?
Yeah, all the time, man. I mean,
Alright.
we can't get Justin Timberlake's on TV all the time. Not Jimmy Kimmel, Mr. Fallon, he's singing all the time.
Okay.
I figure you sang, man.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess I'll have to learn because a lot's expected of me to go out there and to start singing for no reason. Anyways, after the tailgate. We didn't go out after that. Game was somewhat exciting. Red Bulls won 2-1.
Oh, thank you for that update.
Yeah, I know. I know people were really concerned about it. And then the next day, had an impromptu Sunday fun day with our friends Katarina and Nee.
All right.
Yeah, we didn't meet
Shout
up
out to the home team.
Yeah, we didn't meet up until about 5:30 or so, but we got after it once we did.
Gosh.
So that made Monday morning very exciting.
I feel your pain, brother. Yeah, I hope you drank water or it was miserable.
Yeah, I don't think I had any of that, but I did watch a good amount of football, which was a lot of fun.
Oh man, there was some good football this weekend.
Yeah, I mean the Giants stepping up to 2-2 now after a beatdown of the Bills.
You cannot forget about those fighting Matty Hasselbecks in Indianapolis, man.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm impressed that they won. I mean, Hasselbeck
Yeah, me too.
He came out there and he led them to victory.
Gosh, but I, as a pessimistic fan, sometimes I felt like they played any other football team in the NFL and they don't win. Luckily, they had the Jacksonville Jaguars coming in, and their high-power offense, who the previous week just got blanked, or not blanked, but routed by the Patriots, which makes me feel good because the Colts play the Patriots in 2 weeks.
Yeah, right. That should be a very good matchup. Hopefully, Luck is back. You guys will have 10 days though, because you guys play Thursday night against the Texans, right?
Correct.
So that should be interesting. They say Luck should be ready to go. Right? Isn't that
Luck's shoulder? He's getting, for you guys not in the know, Andrew Luck, the quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, was held out of that game with a shoulder injury, but he practiced today, so looks like he might be or should be ready to go on Thursday. Thank goodness, because they need him.
Yeah, they're going to need to score more points against the Texans than they did against the Jaguars.
The Colts went from averaging 28 points last year to a smooth 18 points this year. Good for 27th in the league.
All right. Well,
do you understand that is worse than the Redskins?
Oh yeah, I know fully well it's worse than the Redskins, who were able to beat the Eagles this weekend.
The Eagles.
Yeah, I mean Kirk Cousins soared against the Eagles. But yeah, Giants 2-2, Colts 2-2. We're kind of on the verge of our teams ruining our theme for our bar crawl come January.
But they always, well, yours has been holding up their end of the bargain of not being in the playoffs. But for as long as we've been throwing it, we've had one team in the playoffs, one representative at least.
Right, but we've never had two. So I'm saying
this is true.
This could be a new concept we have to deal with.
This year's iteration of my team is not in the playoffs bar crawl is going to be special. Be on the lookout, people. This is our way of getting the word out. Just be on the lookout.
Yes, all 15 of you will have advance notice of the bar crawl going down.
I love how our numbers keep going up, man. We have.
Oh yeah, well it's 12 last week, so we figured we got three people over the week, right?
Yeah. Did anybody else play well in the NFL this week?
I'll tell you what, the Falcons destroyed the Texans, and they're now 4-0.
Who would have thunk that? I mean, everybody laughed when Kyle Shanahan got the offensive coordinator job, but now he looks like he's doing the damn thing. He done made Leonard Hankerson, who I believe they chose not to re-sign in the offseason, maybe even release, is like taking all of Roddy White's targets.
Yeah, he's playing well. I mean, he's got the team humming. The Panthers in their division are also 4-0. So
yeah, always Cam.
What used to be a division you could sneak in at 8-8 in the playoffs now might be a fun one to watch.
Absolutely. The 49ers have fallen off. Like really big
completely.
Time.
Yeah.
If I'm the owner, I'm like, hey, Jim, you want to come back?
Yeah. Was it Trent Balk who kind of forced Harbaugh out because he wasn't getting along with him? Too bad. The players liked him, and he was. Oh yeah, what's that word? Winning.
Yeah,
So
production, which is all that NFL is about, or any, you know, successful business is about, is producing. And it
yeah, and
sucks
they
that
got rid.
egos and emotions got in the way. But I mean, didn't he go to what, 3 out of 4 NFC championships?
Yeah,
I mean,
no, he was in them. I mean, you had a rematch of the 49ers Packers rematch from a few years ago in the playoffs where Kaepernick just absolutely eviscerated the Packers. This time around, it wasn't even close the other way.
yeah, Kaepernick, he is somebody better. It looks like the end of the movie Rookie of the Year when his shoulder popped back in place.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because now he is just a regular quarterback throwing the ball into the dirt, and nobody is like Anquan Bolden went over there thinking he was playing with the next superstar, and he's frustrated every time you looked at the highlights. So it's funny what a difference a year can make. But again, it's still early, and let's see what these teams do in the next quarter.
Agreed. Oh, yeah. There's certainly something to look out for. I mean, it's only been one quarter of the season. Plenty of time for teams to bounce back. I mean, 0-4s, those teams will have a lot of trouble bouncing back. But if you have a 1-3 squad or a 2-2 squad, I mean, there's still plenty of time for them to put a charge into it, get a good regular season record, and get into the playoffs.
The 2 primetime games were really good too.
Oh yeah, they were really good. I thought the Cowboys Saints game was going to be awful. I really did. I thought it was going to be a horrible game, but I think Breeze came back in the last minute.
Drew bringing that star power, that was always good, because if it was going to be Josh McCown versus Brandon Whedon, yeah, we would have got a really bad game.
Yeah, so thankfully he stepped in and saved it.
And last night I fell asleep on that game, but apparently we had some NFL conspiracy going on again. And again, those Seattle Seahawks, man, benefit of the doubt on Monday night.
Yeah, that was crazy. First of all, people are acting like the rule where you bat the ball out of bounds on purpose is like a new rule. That rule's been in place for a while, and I've seen it called before. But every article I read is like, well, it's not a very well-known rule, and you don't see it enforced much. But I mean, I've seen it enforced a few times.
You've seen it enforced in the end zone or just in the field of play?
In the field of play when they're batting it like out, like offensive guy can't get it, or it's right, like it's going to be a close one, and he bats it out of bounds to keep possession.
Now, if you're like, sometimes for the listeners out there, on onside kicks, you see everybody just bat it down, or they catch it and go down immediately. So,
Well, that's different.
Is it different?
Oh yeah, it's completely different. They're catching and going down is completely different. They're not
Catching it and going down, but knocking it out of bounds, batting on for special teams. I've seen that happen, and they don't call that a penalty.
Yeah, well, for those, it's harder to see intent because you can say, "Oh, he was trying to catch it," but with the Seahawks guy, he was clearly just batting it out of the end zone.
I think I read something that said one of the referees was saying that call is subjective, when, like you just said, the rule has been in there for a while that no, it's not subjective, man. It's, did you see them knock the ball out purposely?
Yeah, well, it's subjective in the way that like pass interference is subjective, but when you see someone grab someone and throw them to the ground, that's a pretty easy call to make.
Or if I see somebody punch the football that was not out of the end zone yet.
Exactly. Like,
that is
yes,
batting.
The call at times can be subjective, just like every penalty in the NFL can be subjective.
Absolutely.
But that was a pretty clear intent on his part.
I just like that Calvin Johnson fumbled, because my fantasy team survived to see another day, to finally get a victory.
That's right. 1-3.
Woo!
Break out the champagne.
Speaking of champagne, those MLB playoffs, they starting off.
Yeah, they're starting off right now. I've got the Astros Yankees game on mute. So far, they made able to touch Tanaka for 2 home runs, 2 solo shots early in the game. So Houston's got a slight advantage going in.
Tanaka, the Yankees' best pitcher out there?
Yeah, he's definitely their best pitcher so far this year. But but he's also facing who's probably going to win the AL Cy Young and Keuchel. But the Astros lefty.
That's a fun fact for me. I did not know that the Astros had made it over to the AL.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, they did that. It was a couple years ago when they
years ago. Jeez.
They realigned the league. So instead of having 16 National League teams and 14 American League teams, it's 15 and 15.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Well, yeah, it does.
Look
at
those baseball traditionalists trying something new.
Yeah, every series now is interleague play, one way or the other.
Yeah, that's kind of no bueno.
Yeah, that could be annoying, but you have to take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
The good is National League guys have one less team to compete for a playoff spot. The bad news is you got to play interleague all the time. But right now it should be interesting. I'm just hoping that the Cardinals don't make the World Series. Their fans are insufferable.
Don't they always get? They find a way. Those guys are gritty. They find a way, and they've got good pitching.
Oh yeah, they're a great team. They won 100 games this year, and I'm not saying they're the favorites to get to the World Series. I'm just saying I don't want them.
You don't want them to go. Who do you see or hope has the firepower to stop them if they're the favorite?
I think the Pirates or the Cubs have a good chance at stopping them. The problem is they play each other in the wild card game, so the Cardinals will have to go through one of them. The Mets, if they can get all 3 of their studs pitching perfectly, then they certainly have a chance to stop them. The Dodgers certainly have a good team, but they've struggled against the Cardinals in the postseason recently. So normally I would say they have a good chance, but the Cardinals have had their number the past few years. I'm hoping for the Pirates because I like that team. And I think,
man, you don't want to see the Cubbies?
I don't want to see the Cubbies because everyone starts becoming an insufferable Cubs fan. They'll come out of the woodwork.
Come on, man. They've been waiting how many years? Come on, Scrooge. Where's your love for the new guy or the small guy?
Yes, I would like to see them win once in my lifetime. So maybe. I'll root for them or the Pirates pretty much. Whoever comes out of that wild card game, I'll probably root for them to make it all the way.
So wait, the other series is the Dodgers and who?
The Mets.
That's right.
So yeah, the winner of the wild card game tomorrow night plays the Cardinals. Dodgers and the Mets is the other series.
I know that's a sore series for you. I'm sorry, man. Sorry for
it'll be tough, but it'll at least be cool to see people excited about the Mets again. So
meet the Mets.
Yeah, it's sucks as a Nats fan, but it's pretty cool as a baseball fan to see them back in it.
Oh, and to piggyback on that game tonight, he won't never hear this, but we would just like to say, hey man, CC, good on you for taking care of yourself, putting yourself before the team, and looking after your health, trying to beat, alcoholism.
Yeah, right. That's definitely the right choice. I wouldn't say I think it's tough to say he's putting himself before the team. Obviously he is, but he's
not in a negative.
Yeah, he's putting his health. Yeah. And it was the right move by him.
Health, self, I know, but I was going for it. Hey man, he wanted to get healthy as opposed to let me maybe pitch in this wild card game.
Right. He wouldn't have pitched in the wild card game anyways. He hasn't been having a great season, but he could have been available in the next series, to come in as a spot starter or, do a long bullpen work if they needed him. And then, of course, with the decision of everyone always like, well, why couldn't he just wait a month? because it'd be a stupid decision to wait a month.
Isn't that always great? Everybody. We're again empathy, man. It's like, yeah, the man clearly hit the level where he felt like if he didn't go today, it could be bad news. And so, as a fan of of human beings, or of the New York Yankees, or of baseball, you should just be like, damn. I hope he gets better, because clearly he wanted to do this.
Right. I mean, it was the right decision, and people will realize that it's the right decision. It's just, it's tough when you're.
Sorry to keep cutting you off. You know there's going to be some motherfuckers who light his ass up if they lose tonight.
Oh, of course. I mean, people do that all the time. You know, whenever anyone sits out an NFL game, like with Jay Cutler when he wasn't looking so happy.
Smoking Jay Cutler?
Yeah, Smoking Jay wasn't looking happy during an NFC Championship game a few years back. Turns out he had like a torn MCL or ACL.
Yeah, shattered knee.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it still doesn't excuse how sad he looked on the sidelines. Like, really? Like, the guy just busted his knee up, and you want him to be like jumping for joy and getting all in it?
If only there was something where we could magically switch people in for the person that they're passing judgment on, and then let's see if they, in that same scenario, have the emotions that they were looking for. Because I find it hard to believe that if I'm playing quarterback, I'm going to be really happy if I come out of that game. Also, if I just blew my knee out, it probably doesn't feel the best, and I'm probably not happy that I blew my knee out.
Right, and who knows if they gave him any type of painkiller or pain relief. So maybe that put a damper on his mood as well. You never know.
You never know. Also,
everyone deals with injuries differently.
Also, the way we have seen Jay Cutler framed, whether fair or not, he ain't getting the benefit of the doubt.
Oh no, of course not. But back to baseball and CC, it's the right move. Hopefully, people will understand why he did it. And he's kind of doing it in a year where he's not pitching well. So it's not like he's robbing him that much of a, quality arm. I mean, yeah, of course he's Cy Young material when he's at his best, but this isn't the year. He needs to take care of himself first so that he can have more years pitching.
Yeah, the optics on this, I mean, I can hear myself. The optics on this don't look that great, but he clearly had to do it for himself.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. Moving on from sports, we go into the social media world.
Social media.
Which is a world we're hoping to dominate soon enough.
Absolutely. Follow us on, I don't know what are the tools on social media?
Well, we're tools on social media, but
zing.
We got Facebook is our main strong one, but we're working on our Instagram and Twitter pages, and we're hoping to have those firing at full gear.
Gosh.
But
what did we see on social media this week?
We saw two stories. One extremely hilarious, the other extremely just disappointing. We'll start with the disappointing one because
disappointing, but I mean,
it has a good ending, but
it has a great ending. But at the same time, it's kind of like we expect so much, even though we've seen that we shouldn't.
Right. So for those of you who haven't seen, there's a small black child that is the son of a woman in her office, obviously at the office, and he's around a lot because he's young and he's not in school. So she picks him up from daycare early, brings him into work. From what I've heard, everyone likes having him around. He's a fun kid. Anyways, one day he was walking around in a white t-shirt, and I guess there was like a small stain on the shirt. And one of the employees was this, I think his name was Garris, first of all, if that doesn't tell you enough.
My name's Garris.
White man, it looked to be in his mid to late 20s, took like a selfie where he had a, purposely had a confused face, and he kind of just let his friends write the captions for him, and they were not pretty.
Yeah, I mean,
one of them was like, "I didn't know you owned a slave." That was horrible.
I mean, there was a shit ton of them, and it was
One was
a whole bunch of. Go ahead.
Yeah, one was only $10 a month to feed this child or something like that. Mimicking.
For me, it's like, yo, the jokes are old, and besides being insensitive, but it's like, who is still making these kind of jokes? And for me, it's the non-cool white kids who are still in fucking 1990 or whenever racism was mad prevalent today, trying to get their jollies off on social media, which everybody is doing these days because it's easy because there's no consequence. But come on, man, like the jokes weren't even funny, and the kid's 3 years old. So,
right.
I mean, holy shit, you really hate black people that much?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, there's so many other ways to go about expressing your humor, but you pick on a 3-year-old who has no idea what's going on, and you just kind of use his
as if the kid's on Facebook. I mean, that's just sad motherfuckers who are just like, let me get my rocks off over here.
Right. So he obviously was fired by the company. And the president released a nice little statement saying, I've seen that kid before. I've hung out with him before. He's been at my dinner table. We love him. Obviously, we can't tolerate what happened. That employee's been let go. So,
and also for the record, his name is Caden.
His name is Caden, right?
One of the biggest hashtags. I don't know if it's trending. I know it's trending in America. I don't know if it's trending worldwide, but the story is pretty big, had some legs, and now we know my man Caden's name.
Yep, and he looks like a happy kid, and there's many other pictures. He probably just looked confused and upset that this guy was taking a picture of him like that.
But, yeah, I mean, he probably didn't know what was going on. I mean, he's 3 to 4, probably can't conceptualize what the fuck is going on. I just feel, I mean, hopefully this thing is not traumatic for the kid going forward. Like
I don't think it will be. Hopefully it won't.
I mean, he's going to find out about the story when he's of age to know what's going on.
But hopefully by then it's not even a memory, and it's just something like, hey, look, this happened, and look how many people came to your defense and said they loved you and wrote positive things about you.
Oh, that's beautiful and perfect. But at the same time, the kid is probably going to have his own reaction that potentially could be a little bit different from that, because the story's not going to go away because it's in the digital age where we can find everything.
Oh, right. A Google search, if he Googles his own name, it's going to come up.
Yeah. So shout out to my man Caden, the homeboy who posted a picture of your man Corneo. And did he have like a pink? Did he have a pink polo on that was wrinkled?
Oh, he might have. Yeah.
Come on, man. At least iron your clothes.
Well, he's going to be ironing his suits a lot, and he's looking for a new job. But I'm sure they'll find something for him in Mississippi.
Yeah. Come on. You're one of us.
Come on, Garris. Come on home.
What about the other story?
The other story is just comical. It deals with a kid who has complete white privilege. And I hate using that term, but it definitely applies in this case. This took place
I hate using the term because he didn't get to really bathe in the spoils of white privilege.
Hey,
every once in a while he gets to use it, but
I'm only 31. Plenty of time left to use white privilege.
That is true. By that time, it's going to be too late.
Right. So maybe I'll see what I can do by the end of 2015.
There you go. That's the spirit.
But this kid, Luke Gavati or something ridiculous.
Where's Luke from?
Luke is from New York, not NYC, but Bayville.
Is he an upstater?
I think he's an upstater. I just heard about the story today, so I haven't had time to research, where in the state he's located. But Bayville, New York. He's at UConn now, previously at UMass.
Boo.
Got kicked out of UMass for similar incident. But there was a video of him clearly hammered.
For the record, this video is 9 minutes long. So if you plan on watching it, make sure you fast forward it.
Right. I mean, you can certainly skip around because the fun stuff happens at the end. But it's a 9-minute long video. He's arguing with the student union manager about he brought in an open container, and he wanted to get his bacon jalapeno mac and cheese, and they weren't letting him.
To sidetrack real quick, sorry.
Right.
That does sound pretty banging though.
Oh, it sounds delicious, obviously. So like we get
that mac and cheese sounds banging as hell.
We understand his desire for the mac and cheese, but how he goes after it is just a whole different story. He starts arguing with the manager who won't let him through, and most kids.
The only reason he's not letting him through is because he's hammered and he's got open alcohol. Right.
Exactly. He's not letting him through just to be a dick. He's not letting him through because he's drunk and he's got an open container. And he's originally not calling the cops on the kid because I think he just wants the kid to leave, and that'll be that, which is a pretty reasonable response. Like, hey, look, you need to just leave and we won't call the cops. You just can't be in here right now. Luke does not find that acceptable.
He puts
does not find that acceptable.
Belt on.
Yeah. So yeah, he's using his privilege all he can. At one point, when he notices it's being filmed, he goes to the manager. This is going to wind up on the internet, and you're going to look like such a tool. I don't think he realized he was talking about himself, but
yeah,
he thought the manager, who was acting cool and calm, would look like a tool as opposed to himself, drunk, belligerent, and yelling at the staff to get his bacon jalapeno mac and cheese. The manager is trying to defuse the situation. I'll try to give a quick recap. One of the cooks.
We have made it to minute 2 of the video.
Right. One of the cooks comes out and wants to just physically force the kid out, but the manager holds him off because he knows that's a bad idea. The kid tries to shove the manager a couple times. They've called the police. They're waiting for the police. One last time, he shoves the manager, and that's when the cook, who's not a small guy, comes up, locks him in a full Nelson, takes him down to the ground, and basically just sits on him until the cop shows up, which is great. So the cop shows up, and he's yelling at the kid. He's like, roll over, and he goes, the kid, you can hear go, oh, I'm so fucked. I'm so fucked.
Yes. Dude, what's my man's name is Luke. Luke is, there's no way he's just on. He's not just drunk, right?
Oh, I don't know. Who knows? I would think that
we shouldn't speculate. We shouldn't speculate, but something tells me my man Luke was all over the place.
Yeah, he wasn't looking good. So he gets handcuffed. They put his flip-flops back on his feet. Sandals with socks, by the way. He had sandals with socks.
Sandals and socks. That's cool. Don't you try to shit on it.
So
all the real hoopers out there know how to get down with the sandals and socks.
So yeah, he definitely wasn't hooping. But anyways, he was as the cop pulled him up to leave, he tried to spit on the manager again.
Oh, I didn't know that part of the story.
Oh yeah, he tried to spit on the manager.
Is he in handcuffs?
He was in handcuffs.
Well, I got to go to jail too because I'm punching him.
Right.
Off of GP.
So and as soon as he tries to spit on him, the officer just, instead of like nicely taking him out, just like immediately starts like pushing him out and like slammed him through the double doors. And basically just threw him outside, where I'm assuming he went ahead and took him for processing.
Let's hope so.
So
unless they let my man Luke off on his own recog, and they're like, you know what? It's okay, Luke. Which would be like, holy fuck, America.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how that story plays out, because right now, as it just happened on Monday, the video was posted.
Yeah.
So we'll probably find out in the next few days what ends up happening with
poor Luke.
Poor troubled Luke.
Luke might get expelled, man. And
I mean, he very well could. He theoretically, I mean, technically he did assault the manager. I mean, he pushed him 3 times and he tried to spit on him.
he's gonna have to go get a new college to give him a degree, all because he couldn't wait to have some bacon jalapeno macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, I mean that's a hell of a way to leave a school. I mean, he already got kicked out of UMass for getting drunk and trying to assault a police officer.
Oh, I forgot he had another one.
Yeah.
So now you're 2 schools down, and you have to go interview at the 3rd one, I'm assuming, and they're going to be like, so tell us what happened, man. And he's just going to look him in the eyes and be like, well, I just had to have some bacon, jalapeno, macaroni, and cheese.
Well, he's going to probably end up in the same place as our buddy Garris. He'll probably go to Mississippi somewhere.
Yeah.
And be welcome down there.
Keep throwing Mississippi out there.
I mean, I can't throw Alabama out there. Otherwise, one of our friends will get really mad at me.
Hey, don't you dare.
But Mississippi will welcome him with open arms. Him and Garris will have a nice little welcoming party.
Shout out to social media. Thanks, guys. Without you, we probably would not have a show. We wouldn't have anything to talk about.
Yeah, we'd be struggling.
I mean, we're not struggling today because we're like killing it. This is like our good stuff.
Yes, as you know, we're very honest critics of each other, and we are definitely killing it.
I mean, we're amazing.
Speaking of amazing, even crazier news happening. Pilot for American Airlines on a red-eye flight from Phoenix to Boston fell ill during the flight. He fell ill. The co-pilot took over and managed to land the plane in Syracuse. Unfortunately, the captain passed away at the age of 57. They're not sure what exactly caused his death, but I mean, imagine you're the co-pilot and all of a sudden the pilot is just struggling to breathe and struggling to live, and you have to hop in and land this plane safely without screwing up everything and everyone on board.
Let's hope he practices the mantra. Clearly he does, not trying to make light of the situation, but next man up, because if he wasn't prepared and he was the co-pilot, I mean, now we've got a bigger tragedy in our hands.
Right. I mean, he turned what was already a small tragedy, and he saved it from being an even bigger one. So
did he were they going to Syracuse?
No, they were going to Boston.
Ah.
They rerouted to Syracuse when that happened.
Jeez.
So, but I think they eventually ended up in Boston about 5 hours, after arrival time.
Did the story say that they came on the intercom and alerted the passengers?
Yeah, I believe. I'm not sure what exactly they told the passengers, but they said there was a emergency, and then they have to land in Syracuse. I don't think they got on there and said the pilot's dead. The pilot's dead. Hold on for your lives.
I mean, that would be more soothing than an emergency. I mean, everybody knows that. I mean, the biggest thing that ever happened in the U.S. in the past 20 years. I mean, we don't have to, 9/11 with the plane hijacking. You hear an emergency, your immediate reaction is that.
Right. I don't think they said it was a mechanical emergency or anything like that. I think they said there was an illness and rerouting to Syracuse.
Yeah, illness. Even though it turned out to be that my man was not with us anymore, makes me feel a little bit better.
Right. I think
because I don't know if I have to kick it. Like, I mean, what are you thinking when you're on the plane? Are you like, damn, am I gonna have to pretend that I'm some kind of superhero?
Right. I mean, you start thinking of airplane, and you're just like, oh man, some random dude's gonna have to come out of the passenger seat and fly the plane.
Does anybody speak jive?
Oh, great movie. Great movie. But, I mean, according to a few of the passengers, they said that the crew handled it extremely well. And they were worried, but none of them ever, feared for the worst. So
Yeah.
that was nuts. I just hope.
Condolences, but it is like you said, it could have been a lot worse. So glad my man, the co-pilot, I'm sure he'll become internet famous. He lost a friend or a coworker at least, but he did his job and he got everybody else home safely.
Yeah, that man might be due for a promotion.
Oh, you think? If not, we going straight to the negotiating table.
Right. Oh man, that was crazy. What else was crazy though? The return of SNL
It
season number
was,
41.
gosh, Lorne Michaels keeps churning out this product.
Right. And they opened up with Taron Killam doing a great Trump impression.
No, he was good.
That clip is a must watch.
Who was the host?
Miley Cyrus was hosting this weekend.
Sweet Miley. I think I caught the whole thing, and it's interesting because Miley, her monologue was very good. They had her sing with her real voice because she's actually very talented when it comes to singing. She sang Frank Sinatra's "My Way," and they did like a fake homage to all the social media stories of the summer, or the biggest stories of the summer. And the first one was just one of the SNL characters coming out as Rachel Dolezal, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, that was Vanessa Bayer, and she did it perfectly. She just did like the old winky face. Don't tell anyone.
It's a
and then the Black Power salute.
Yeah, it was good. Get that, watch that. But I thought it was Miley, man. Like, not to get off topic, but she's just biting off of Lady Gaga. When you watch her performance, she has this over-the-top outfit that, yes, it will be different than what Gaga did, but it's in the same vein. And it's kind of like, come on, yo, you got to get your own stick. Just sing.
Right. I mean, yeah, but I think she's trying to get out of that whole Hannah Montana thing. She's still working to get out of that.
She's doing a great job because
Yeah.
she's going all the way over to the right, and she was over to the left. But for me, as like, I like to pay attention to like pop culture and all that stuff, I'm like, yeah, I've already seen Lady Gaga do this.
Yeah, you're looking for something different.
I need something different, man.
That's all right. Well, maybe she needs to find her own way to do something different.
She does.
But this to her feels natural.
Another highlight. I mean, we were kind of disappointed in Weekend Update. There was a couple jokes from Shay and Jost, but the skits where they had somebody come in, they did the Pope. They did. Who else was on there?
Yeah, Weekend Update was a solid like 15-minute bit. And I feel like that's a long time to do Weekend Update. They had they did Pope Francis, they did Leslie Jones relationship advice, and then they did Pete Davidson as the young guy.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah,
he wasn't as funny as he could be.
No, he was a little off. I didn't think Leslie Jones was that funny. I didn't think the Pope thing was that funny. I mean, they just kind of fell flat on Weekend Update. They saved it a little later on.
They did. Leslie came to the rescue. Leslie Jones skit. She is the first female late show talk host, when she's also the first female African American late night talk show host. And it is pretty good stuff. We're not going to ruin it for you, but you need to go watch that.
Yeah, that was a funny bit. Usually, towards the end, you see shittier skits, but that one was pretty good. My favorite, though, was what ended up being the second skit. So the skit immediately after the opening was Kate McKinnon as Hillary Clinton being served at a bar by Hillary Clinton. So that got a good
Talk
cheer
about
out.
burying the lead, by the way.
Right. I mean, we got to save the best skit for last. So that one was great. Daryl Hammond makes an appearance as Bill. And
Brief but funny.
I'm sorry?
Brief but funny.
Oh, yeah. I agree. That skit was all around their best one, I think, of the night. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but
I don't, but
well, fuck you then.
I'm glad you think that, though.
What was your?
My vote is going to Leslie Jones as the first female African American talk show host. It was late night talk show. It was brilliant.
All right. I mean, I can respect that.
You
But
better.
you're wrong.
All right.
All right. On to
your privilege is showing again, Z.
Oh, my fault. I told you I had to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Told you I had to take advantage of it. Now on to one of our favorite SNL alums, Andy Samberg and Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, yeah.
What did you think of this week's show?
I thought it was good. We got to see some more Captain Holt, which is always a fun time. And then you got to see Terry Crews freestyle a little bit, which was cool. He's always played the reserve, like mentor, but they let him let loose on this show. It was good.
Yeah, I thought it was a solid show. I really like. I don't know how long they'll have him as the captain, but I love the Vulture as the captain. I think he's hysterical.
What is his name in real life?
I can't remember. He's the Allstate guy who.
Is that Allstate or Nationwide?
I thought it was Allstate. He's the
Madness, Mayhem.
Yeah, he's Mayhem.
Is Mayhem Allstate or is that Nationwide?
I'm pretty sure it's Allstate. I can check that real quick.
Hey, Nationwide or Allstate, feel free to be our sponsors. That way,
we'll take.
We'll start watching your commercials and identifying.
Yeah, we'll definitely take you guys over. Yeah, it's Allstate.
Is it Allstate? All right.
Yeah. Yep. Once again, I'm right. Whites win.
Oh, get out of here.
No, but I thought that was a good episode. That's a must. We've always been saying Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a must watch. So
yeah. We're here to educate you guys, man. Get out there, watch, support good TV. There's not too much of it, but Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Sandberg, they do it the right way.
Agreed.
I mean, a lot of people are coming back to Fox with this Empire and all that good stuff, but give me my sitcoms, man. That's all I need.
Yeah, fall's the time for sitcoms. Spring and summer, I'll take on the hour-long dramas.
Wait, you could have said fall is for, basic bitches and pumpkin spice and vests.
Yeah, I was talking about TV, though, specifically. I wasn't talking about everything that happens in the fall.
Oh, all right.
So.
Fair.
Well, Kevin, any final thoughts before your big Thursday night football game?
I look forward to seeing Andrew Luck become Andrew Luck because he has not been Andrew Luck. He's been Andrew Suck this whole year. However, 2-2, can't complain. You just I expected the upward trend of his to keep going up, and it feels like for the first 4 games, and he's only played in 3, he's kind of stalled out. So I expect him to run the ball a lot. Hopefully the defense comes to play, and please somebody block J.J. Watt before Andrew dies.
Right, that's going to be the key thing, is keeping Watt off his ass.
Other than that, they're playing the Colts have a stranglehold on that division, and I expect them to win.
All right, folks, you heard it here. I just can't wait till the next recording where I laugh at Kevin for being wrong.
No, put your bets in right now, people, because the Colts, I guarantee, are going to win on Thursday.
Ooh, what are you going to do if they don't?
I will open the show saying that Steven is cooler and funnier than me.
Well, everyone knows that already, but it'll be nice for you to say that. Anyways, folks, this has been another lovely edition of Panda Watch. Feel free to join us next week. Make sure to follow us on Facebook. at the PandaWatch Podcast page. We'll have links up there for our Turbit site. You can listen to past podcasts. We have a YouTube page going now where you can listen there. You can always download our files from the Turbit page if you want to listen offline.
We're everywhere, people. It's only the beginning.
Yep.
Soon you'll realize that Panda Watch is your favorite pastime.
Oh, yes. You guys will learn to love us. And if you don't,
better than bocce ball.
Better than bocce ball, agreed. Better than Garrus playing bocce with Luke.
Exactly.
Well, folks, I'm Steven.
Take us out, man. And it's your boy, Kev Ma.
Have a great and wonderful week. And until next time.
Chocolatas.